doing the Hello Summer Popsicle. And I'm super excited about this project because this is something that I think our industry has been looking for a very, very long time. And I believe that this is going to be the answer to a lot of things that we deal with as far as trying to figure out solutions on how to get young gals to paint. And I will tell you that Jen and Lindsay would never have joined me for a class painting anything else, but today they said, yeah, we think we can do this. So I think this is something that will encourage younger gals to jump on the painting bandwagon and join in on all of our painting fun. As a decorative painter, this was kind of mind-boggling for me, and that sounds kind of weird because this is really, I don't want to say simple painting, but I do think that was part of the problem. It's just something we put paint on and we look for design and color and layout, and we don't lean on all of those decorative painting shading tips and highlights and all those other tricks to really jazz it up and enhance it. So this is totally different for me, and the girls are going, oh yeah, this is so much fun. And I struggled. Well, be honest with you, I really struggled with doing this.
She did.
So they said, well, it's not that hard. You just need to put the paint on and let it go. So this is a super fun project.
Is it like we're painters?
Yeah, but you know, they have a different concept about painting. We have a different approach, and it's kind of refreshing to do something like this, and it's almost like a painting vacation. I really, really enjoyed it after I kind of figured out not to stress about it so much, and I think that's hard for a decorative painter to do, is to not overthink it. And Lindsay said that several times, you're really overthinking it. And I'm going, yeah, but, you know, I need to figure all this out, and we're thinking patterns and whatnot. Super easy. Great project to do with kids, grandkids, nieces, nephews. My mom wants me to come and teach at a retirement center, and I thought, ooh, you know, something like this would be super fun and not overly frustrating for someone that's not a decorative painter. So we are starting out with a popsicle, and this is just an MDF surface that we have here at Cupboard Distributing, and I just put a couple lines on it. And believe it or not, I used a stencil for the wording, and that's what's so much fun about this. You can pick any kind of stencil, any kind of layout. You can shift the center section out, but I kind of drew these lines on, and then after I did it, I thought, oh gosh, I don't know if my stencil will fit. Well, it thankfully fit on there just perfectly, or you know, I'd had to redo it, but it worked out well. And so we're going to kind of jump into this, and we'll stop maybe a couple of times to take a little bit of a break. I want to show you some things I've been working on that are not like this, but super fun. Yes, Lindsay?
Debbie Forshay's on here, and she says, I agree, Chris, we do need to design projects that will engage younger painters.
Yes, absolutely, Debbie. And that, you know, we've been kind of looking for this for a long time. And as a decorative painter, once you get over that concept of, you know, not having to take it so far, it is super fun. Really enjoyed doing this. Alrighty, so because this is an MDF piece, I did go ahead and seal that with multi-purpose sealer. I always do that just as a safeguard. Plus, if you're going to put this outside, like on a wreath or front door, it's a good idea to put a sealer on it. And go ahead and do both sides. That just makes sure that the moisture is not going to soak in on the back side as well. Colors. You can pick any color you want, because this is a fun project that is just absolutely going to be whatever color of your choice. I just picked 3 fun summer colors, and I thought they were really light and summery. So I'm going to start out, because we want to kind of work in sections and not stop. I'm going to do the yellow section. Now on this one I did some sunny day. I've got banana cream today. And I think Lindsay's doing red, white, and blue. So, you know, we're going to do a show and tell.
No,
No moaning over there. Okay, we're just going to squirt out a little bit of paint. And you get your, my favorite brush is a sorry, I forgot to share.
That's right.
I'm going to use my 3/4 inch oval wash. I've got a big area. I'm going to do nice smooth strokes. Just going to kind of follow that around. And if your paint's dragging, just put a little bit of water with it, make it smooth it out. And I try to go with the flow of that section. It's gonna take 2 coats, but if you're not messy on the first application when you put this on, have nice smooth strokes, girls over there. You won't have to work so hard when you put your second coat on. I didn't look, I'm just...
Or 12 coat.
Okay, let your brush do the work. You got a nice big brush, let that thing...
Jen's used to doing this with an angle.
Yeah, they did some painting while one day when I wasn't here, and she used a little angle brush to do the whole project. It turned out really nice, but I know she worked really hard to get all that coverage on there.
That was the 14 layers of paint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's white paint.
Well, I just painted it.
And probably some of the things as decorative painters we don't think about is when someone is new to painting, simple things like paint application is something that they're not familiar with. So these are things that, you know, you just need to kind of explain how it works and a little bit of water with them.
I just need a little bit more paint.
Load your brush up well. You've got a nice big brush. We're going to load it up well.
Okay.
Don't forget, I'm getting more too.
Nice long strokes. If it's not going on smooth, just add a little water. Now I want to paint the stick, and because I don't want to have to work too hard, I'm just going to put a little piece of tape, some painter's tape, right there. That's just going to section that off. I know you guys.
You don't want to share that with Lindsay, but then you'll disappear. She loves painter's tape.
I do. It's my favorite thing.
Painter's tape is great. Makes everybody look good.
Where are we putting it at the top?
Right, even with the bottom of the popsicle. And I'm gonna load it up. This is toffee, and you know, I was thinking about it, you probably wouldn't even need to paint this, but I'm a painter, so I decided we need to paint it. And it kind of helps keep the same continuity of the finish of the paint. So just gonna put that on there. Nice long strokes. This is a popsicle stick. So I'm going to go with the grain of the wood, start at the top and just pull it straight down.
Hey, I'm doing better.
Did you have water?
No, but I'm doing better. Leave me alone.
You're good. Stop.
But you can see it
Okay.
here.
Well, we'll put a second
Oh,
coat on
okay.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
And you know, that's another thing. I think if you're not familiar with paint, you're trying to get it on perfect the first coat, it's just not going to happen. So put it on, get that base coat on there, and then we can do the second coat after we get this on.
Someone asked if Lindsay is painting, who is posting? Lindsay.
Lindsay double duty.
I tell you, Lindsay is amazing. She was, she can do 3 things at once.
That's good. You're going to do another two.
I'm going to work on the green now. This is the top section. This is green tree. This is one of the newer colors that came out last year. A pretty color. You can do, okay.
Am I right?
Yeah, you're good. I was going to tell you you could do your stick later, but.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
All right, so I'm going to load my brush up really well. Get that paint in. You have a big brush. You want to make sure that you load it up well. Don't just load the tip up. And I'm kind of brushing it out over the edge so I don't have to go back and touch up those edges so much. And just kind of, that's one reason I like these oval washes. I like the shape of the brush, but actually any flat would work. You just don't want a teeny tiny brush.
Good job, Jen.
I crushed my stick, I just want you to know, it looks great.
Again, you just want to smooth it on nice and even. Snap to, girls.
Okay.
Paint faster.
Faster.
Nice, smooth, even coat. Load your brush up well. Get a little bit of water on there. Smooth it out. And look at her put that paint on there like a pro. This is Joyful Pink, and this is one of the brand new colors. Actually, I'm not even used it yet. So this is one of the 2021 releases. They really have some nice vibrant colors. And I decided that I needed to break it open and give it a shot. Now I just took the tape off of my popsicle stick, and I'm just going to move it down so I don't get paint onto that.
More paint on me than anything.
I think if you're not a painter, it's hard to go faster
Yes.
because you're not real comfortable with it.
Mhm.
But I also think if you go a little bit faster, you don't have to worry so much about,
Don't stress as much.
yeah, you're just putting the paint on. I think that's why they do the wine and sips. If we had a couple glasses of wine here,
You should set something.
I could draw some.
Jen and Lindsay would be sailing along without a worry.
This is really
Oh,
nice.
this is pretty. This is Joyful Pink.
Oh, I like that.
I'm gonna do the same thing. Just gonna put a fair amount of water in there so I have a nice and fluid. Load that brush up well. I can probably paint the whole thing with one brush load of paint. And again, I'll just follow. Ooh, that is beautiful.
Yeah, I like that color.
I would call this fuchsia. I think I have a dress this color.
This is bright.
All right, now I'm not too worried about that dividing section because if you look at this, we've got a white line to kind of camouflage where those areas come together. And you do see a lot of these projects on Etsy and Pinterest, and it's kind of fascinating to look at them. And Jen, what do you do with these?
Put these in the middle of your wreath.
That's right. They just look so pretty. And what's really neat about it, if you have a generic or a non-seasonal
Yeah.
wreath, like a burlap wreath or something,
I have one of those on my
you just
front door.
swap it out. And so you just change your insert for whatever season it is.
I just want to
Or
see
what you could do is you could have your Summer Popsicle on one side
on my report card.
and your red, white, and blue Popsicle on the other side.
Oh, that's a good idea.
You'll swap it out for
Oh my goodness.
patriotic. Lindsay's going over it slow and steady.
That's because I can't color inside the lines. Ask my kindergarten teacher. Never have been able to.
I like this pink.
I'm watching them spread it on nice and careful.
It's kind of stressful.
We're probably stressing you out.
She just wants to take the brush
She's like,
from
girls,
us.
just put it on the
It's
board.
okay. We want it to look good. I want happy students when we're finished. Just gonna load up. I'm going back with my second coat.
Okay,
So crank it up, girls.
okay. I'm almost there.
Jeez.
Just now, because this first coat's on there pretty smooth, I just need to go on the second coat just to make it look nice and finished here. I'm not being too particularly careful where these colors meet together because I know I have my white line there, but I don't want to be messy either. I don't want to have to go
I
back and
forgot about that.
touch it
I'm
up.
stressing on it.
Yeah, Lindsay's worried about that, and that's one of the things that I found out when I painted this. All these things we worry about as decorative painters, it's not really a big deal. You know, you're putting the paint on rather quickly, and then we'll go back and do some fun, and I would call them kind of funky designs in it, just to liven it up. And I've seen some on Pinterest that were just plain with words on them. But I like that little bit more. A little more water in that, Jen.
Okay.
It'll go a little bit smoother,
Okay.
and you won't have to work as hard.
I like it.
We don't want to work as hard.
I like less work.
Oh, I still haven't done the bottom.
Oh, Lindsay's falling behind. Well, Lindsay's doing two things at
Yeah,
once.
she is.
So we'll give her a little grace.
Thank you.
And the brush I'm using is a very soft bristle brush, and it does smooth the paint on just really nice and even.
Yeah, when you put the water in it?
Yeah.
Water is your friend.
Yeah, it is.
And if you're showing someone to paint that is not a painter, little things like that are very important because, you know, things that we take for granted that we understand are characteristic of the acrylic paint. You know, as a new painter, maybe that's not so, you know, something that they struggle with and they don't know it. And I was watching, you find these crazy videos on YouTube, and this gal went to the dollar store and she bought that. It's called, it had a name like premium acrylic paint or something, and she was so excited, and she bought a bottle of like every color, super cheap, and she tried using the white, and it was transparent. She put 7 coats on, it was still transparent. She said, not a good value. But we know Deco Art is absolutely fantastic paint, and it won't frustrate a new painter, and you want to make sure that new painters enjoy the experience. Are we having fun over there?
Actually, I am.
All right. Kind of a nice break.
Yeah, I was
Well,
kind
it's
of stressed.
either this or work, right?
Yeah, this is way better.
And just, you want a nice smooth coat. And we've got that. I'm leaving that little piece of tape on there because we want to put some stripes and decorations on that.
Okay.
So we're going to let that dry. While that's drying, I'm going to switch gears here. You can see the difference in color. I think that's kind of cool. The yellow and the orange, or yellow and the pink, are two different shades. Okay, I am going to do some advertising. I'm teaching a class on Friday the 13th, August 13th. This is the Itsy Bitsy Spider class, and I'm going to be teaching this Itsy Bitsy Spider ornament. It's almost that size. I did a set of 4 ornaments, and these are so cool. It's kind of a new technique that I came up with. I had so much fun. I was really excited to share it. And I thought, you know, teaching all 4 of these ornaments is going to be kind of a lengthy class, but the technique is the same. It's just different designs and throughout. So I thought if I teach this one, then you'll be able to paint these. But the class is going to be this ornament that I'm teaching. You will also receive all 4 surfaces, the pattern packet, and all the instructions for all 4 of them, but we'll be painting this one. So you need to go to cdwood.com and sign up for the Itsy Bitsy Spider class on August 13th. It is Friday the 13th, appropriately so. Really going to be a fun class. I think you'll enjoy this new technique a lot.
We're not taking that class.
No, the girls are not taking that, so we'll...
That's way over our heads.
Yeah, not yet.
I will be there,
You
but
know,
I will
maybe
not be
we'll be
painting.
getting there. And then I came up with a new set of ornaments. These are my Tombstone Ornaments. How you doing over there, girls?
I'm good. I think I'm good.
Drug on.
These are almost finished as far as pattern packets. So I think they should be online tomorrow. I gotta scooch them up a little bit.
She
so
has
you
to
can
do the
see
line
them.
drawing.
I have to do the line drawing.
I know without even asking.
Oh my goodness, yeah, line drawings. We just always a challenge to do the line drawings. I should do that first before I do my instructions, and then I wouldn't have to worry about it.
And then we wouldn't be yelling at you. Do your line drawings.
And this has kind of a neat technique in the background to create that tombstone look. So I think you'll have fun with those. Okay, are we ready to move on?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's go back to our, and I think it's pretty much dry. I'm gonna, because I'll drag my hand through it. Is it dry?
Not quite yet.
Okay. We need to put some, do you have little brushes?
No.
Okay, here's a little
Okay.
liner.
Oh, snap.
Okay.
Awful trusting with us.
Wait, are we doing that white part?
No,
Okay.
we're gonna be doing the sprinkles.
I was gonna ask for a friend.
These are fun.
That's
And Jensen, I'm really worried about doing the sprinkles. All right, here's the way we do it. We're just gonna take the brush, get some paint on it, and the sprinkles are about a ½ inch long. So we're just gonna do little lines. And you kind of want, they're sprinkled around, so don't make them all samey. And I'm just taking my brush and laying it down.
Don't have too much paint.
No.
Okay.
And if it's not flowing off your brush well, you need to add a little more paint. That one's kind of wonky because that's okay. They can be different sizes. And I'm just going to do the pink and the green. Just to add some color. Lindsay, I'll send this brush down. And I'm just going to put the green in and around. Shake up the way that those lay so they're not all lay in the same direction. You want them to look like they are sprinkled on. This is a pretty green. I think this is the first time I used this green tree. Oh my goodness. Well, you know, if you drop your brush, that means you don't have a death hold on it. So that's not a bad thing.
Okay.
Send this down to Lindsay so she can do her sprinkles.
Sprinkles.
See, they look good. And that's how simple it is. You just want to get those little sprinkles on there, add some color. And get those green ones on there.
Oh.
A little more water on your brush. You want that paint to really flow off of there. You just want the paint to just lay off of the brush. You don't want to have to press it because you'll get different width strokes if you just lay it on there. Now, one thing I did not do, I did not add my dip dots until after I did the lettering because
Yes. Okay.
if you lay your stencil on those wet dots, you're going to smear it around. We don't want to go there. So I'll wait and do that later.
How do you know how many too many sprinkles or not enough sprinkles?
You can have as many sprinkles as you
Think
want.
about the donuts we had on Tuesday.
Jen loves sprinkled donuts, so
Yes, I do.
there cannot be too many sprinkles. Oh, I think this is another new color, Sage Mint. I wanted to do a dip, like a circle dot on the top part. And as I was trying to figure out, my first thought was I'm going to use a stencil because that'll make a perfect circle. And then I got to thinking, well, what if someone doesn't have circle stencils and still wants to create this? So I decided, we've got these little pouncers that are circles, you know, different size circle shape. I love these. These are super economical. I use them to do varnishing. I use them to do putting paint on stamps. Everybody needs some of these because it just really puts the paint on nice and smooth. Oh no, Jen got paint on her finger.
Good thing I'm going to get my nails done tonight.
What did you do?
Oh my goodness. So I decided that this little pouncer would be really great to put the paint on with. Now I did dampen it. I just dipped it in my water basin and I'm gonna scrunch it in a paper towel. The only reason I'm doing that is if this sponge is moist inside, you're not gonna soak up and waste a lot of paint.
Up there. Here, pop the thing up on the back.
Oh, okay,
And it'll stand up.
okay.
Oh, maybe. Oh, not on. There it goes.
Okay. Okay, so if we have moisture on this when I go to put it in my paint, and I'm gonna tap it a few times, so I don't have a big glob of paint on there, you want to be able to see that texture of the sponge. So if you can see that texture, you have it about right. Just pounce it in there, and then go ahead and just press it down. It's not, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just a spot. It's not a perfect circle. That was hard for me as a decorative painter to not expect it to be perfect. Isn't that a super way to make a round shape? Oh my gosh. And I let it go off of the edge. I think that's kind of fun. It's not real perfect around all the way, but
Good job, Jen.
it works. Ta-da! It's just like that. So we've got this section decorated and this section decorated. We're gonna go down to the pink section. Yeah. Lindsay's lagging behind a little, but,
Bomb pops don't have dots on them.
oh, okay, she's making a red, white, and blue bum pop.
I know they don't. I didn't realize. Do I have paint on my face?
And one of the hazards of painting is you may get paint on yourself or your neighbor. Okay, I am using a pink, and I thought it really doesn't matter what color pink. I just wanted to go with that. If you don't have pink, squirt a little white into your base color. Works fine. I think this will work. This is Baby Blush. It's a new Deco Art 2021 color. Just cracked open the seal on it. Gonna squirt a little bit out, and I am going to use my flat brush to create the stripes. Okay, spacing. I lost my brush.
This is the one that stresses me. Which you need? Do I have it?
My little flat.
This one?
Uh-huh.
Oh, it was in that pile.
Lindsay snagged my flat.
Jen gave it to me.
It was
Okay.
in our brush pile.
Yeah.
Send
She's
it
gonna
down.
have to clean it better.
That's all right. It'll work. Okay. Whatever size brush you have is whatever size stripe you're going to end up with. And I do better from left to right, so I'm just going to turn it sideways. And the best way to do this is to just pull it straight across. And I did leave that tape on there for that exact reason. Now, if you have trouble with a straight stripe and you don't want to do a straight stripe, you could do a wiggle. And that would be fun too. There are no wrong ways. I am loading my brush really well, but I don't have big saddlebags on the side, and I don't have any big globs on the end. I'm going to have light pressure. I'm going to start in the center and just pull it down. I think I want a little more color to that, so I'm just going to pick up a little bit of that pink that's over there, and I'm going to mix it together, and I'm going to go right over top of that. Okay, just like that. Just want a stripe on there. Now, how do you get those even? I'm going to put one over here about a 1/4 inch from the side. I got to get my bracelet off. I can't. You know how you can pivot your arm? I can't. Okay, got a stripe on that side.
I don't hate it.
Lindsay does not hate hers. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
We got a stripe on that side. Now I've got one in the middle, one on each side. I just go down the middle between them. And get that on there. How you doing?
Okay,
All right.
It looks good, Jen.
thanks.
This was another thing as a decorative painter, just to kind of say, it's okay. It doesn't have to be solid, and that kind of adds to the charm of it, because this is a fun piece. This is not a has to be perfect kind of thing. So we'll let that dry. I'll let Lindsay and Jen catch up a little bit, and I can show you another piece that I'm working on that needs a line drawing.
Story of
Imagine
your
that.
life.
This is my crystal ball, and I'm in a Halloween mode in case you didn't guess, but this is fun. It has kind of like a stone base. I don't know if you can see the base on it. It's kind of hard to, oh, maybe that'll help. A little bit of stonework and some Halloween magic. So this is another fun project I enjoy doing. He's holding a cat and he's got a little spider in his hand over there. Just a fun piece. Okay, again, that one should be out
Soon.
maybe tomorrow.
If you get the line.
Everybody around this place straightens up, we'll be in good shape.
Right.
Okay, I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and get the stencil on. And some of my paint is a little thick, so you know what? I'm just going to, see, it pulled off that heaviness on it, and what's left is fine. Pop that stencil right there. Yeah, it still fits. Want to make sure that my stencil doesn't move around. So I'll take a little piece of tape and anchor it down.
I got one line going sideways.
I'm going to try to fit all those letters in there. And if it doesn't fit perfectly, it's just going to be really close.
Deb Antonik said super cute.
It is a fun project, and it's just something enjoyable to paint. You know, sometimes you just need a break from all those instructions and how to do this and how to do that.
I didn't. I'm a rebel.
And I tell you what, if you've not painted with kids, they are so creative. They have so much fun, and you let them pick their colors out.
She talking about us?
They're kind of amazing.
Okay.
Lindsay and Jen's are looking super good.
I should have went without the stripes. Mine would have been better without the stripes.
No, it'll be fine.
Okay.
It'll be
She's
fine.
gonna give us a method to
She's gonna fix it.
All right.
Show me how to fix it.
I have a stencil brush that I designed because I am not a good stenciler, and I wanted to make it look good. So I created this brush, super soft bristles. One of the biggest perks is that you can clean it out between colors, wash it, towel dry it, and you can go on to the next color. The worst thing about stenciling is having that run under all the letters, and that's from too much paint. So I'm going to load my stencil brush up really well, work that paint into the bristles so that I have lots of paint in there. And then I'm going to get the excess off on a paper towel. Just brush that heaviness off. And you can pounce or you can swirl, whatever you want to do to get that paint on there. If it's a really tiny, delicate stencil that has a lot of little detail, swirling may kind of shift it around a little bit and cause the stencil to move. You kind of keep an eye on that. You need to adjust a little more paint. I always say it's best to have 2 light coats as opposed to 1 heavy coat. if you put it on nice and light, you can almost go back immediately and add that second layer.
Marty Moore said the best stencil brushes she has ever used. She loves them.
Thank you. It is a good brush. And it will last a very long time. The biggest challenge on these brushes is maintenance. You do need to make sure that you clean them well. They are loaded with a bazillion bristles. So when you clean them, you have to take your time and really get that paint out. And what happens if you don't, it's going to start to build up. Ooh, look at that. And then you'll have a hard center on it. I'm going to take just a second and clean this for Miss Jen over here. So that.
Now remember, loose. That's what we had to tell ourselves.
We'll load the brush up for her.
Stuck my hand in paint. I'm just a mess. You already got me fixed?
I do. You are good to go. And they're going to have to share because I only have one stencil. No, so you can do a couple things. When stencils are created, they have these little bridges in them that allow you to keep the center from dropping out. I do like to go back sometimes and just kind of fill that in. And just so that it doesn't look like it's been stenciled, it kind of looks hand painted. So you can just go back and fill those bridges in. It only takes a minute. Just use that little brush. If you are a brand new painter and you like, I mean, this is kind of a fun and funky stencil and a fun and funky project. So to go back and fill it in, for this project, I don't think that it's needed. But that is an option, and there's minimal. I think the E's, the O's, and the R. Just like that. So really it's not a big deal to fill them in. It's just mostly a matter of choice.
Sylvie said she loves them, just ordered her third set. Convenient to have many, especially in class when you need to use many colors and don't have time to clean them right away.
And you know, not having to wait until the stencil brush is dry and to be able to go from one color to the next color was one of my bigger issues because I'm not a very patient person. And I like to have a brush that I can move on with, and I also don't want to have to clean 50 brushes. Oh, look at Jen at the end of the day.
I did it.
Jen, it looks perfect. Okay, do you want to fill in the little?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm good.
Good enough. Okay, we've got that done. Let's go back. Lindsay's going to put her letters on. We're going to go back with a stylus and add some dip dots with these colors
We can handle that.
Or you can do this.
around the Hello Summer. And these are the same colors that you use, that hot pink. And we're just, to me, that kind of adds a little bit of, oh, Lindsay, I can, okay, never mind. Nope, you're good. I was going to load the brush for you. That just adds a little bit of like a confetti look. I think that is so cute, just to add those little dip dots.
You can't go wrong with a dip dot.
No, it just kind of breaks it up. And
That was the first thing she taught us how to do was a dip dot.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't notice it until now, but on this one I added white.
Dip dots?
Sprinkles and dip dots.
Really?
So, yeah. I don't think it's needed. You can put as many or as few as you like. Dip and dot. If you want your dots all the same size, you want to dip and dot every single time. If you want to change, let them kind of graduate in color, then you can go back and just kind of, or graduate in size. You just go dot, 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 and they become smaller. Dip dots are a great way to add fun. You could add dip dots down your stripes.
Yeah.
You know, add some dots down the stripes. That would be cute too.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're kind of, I mean, we're sort of kind of to the point where we can start wrapping this up. This is a package of Sharpie paint markers. They're not like India ink. These are actually like enamel paint. It works really well on glass, on wood, just about any surface. It's an oil-based paint marker. And I thought, gosh, these would be super easy to put the stripe on. And most people are more comfortable with a paint marker than they are with a brush.
Mm-hmm.
So to kind of just pull this along that line, look how easy that is. And I did find out that the white paint markers are just about the same as white paint. If you need 2 coats with white paint, you're probably going to need 2 coats with the marker.
Yes.
Okay, Jen, you want that? So you do want to make sure that your paint is dry before you use the paint pen on them, because that can mix with the paint and then your tip gets kind of hard. Okay, so this is the Uniball white pen, and this is very opaque. I could use the white paint pen to kind of add some dashes, but I wanted a smaller line. You can use your liner brush. You don't have to do this. You could do black, but I thought it would be kind of fun. Kind of reminded me of that ticking that they use on old mattresses. I'm dating myself. But it just, you know, anything that you can do to kind of dress up these stripes just adds a little more fun to it. And this pen really puts on a nice opaque line. Now you do have to be careful. It does reactivate with water, so to seal this, you definitely don't want to brush varnish over it. I would suggest a spray sealer. But it's so much easier than using a liner brush. And I've tried different brands of the paint pen. This is kind of my favorite for the white. Again,
Okay.
not being perfect is what really kind of adds to the charm of this. Okay. And just for fun, make these little circles stand out a little bit more. Just put a little bit of a design around the outer edge. And who doesn't love not having to be fussy? I'm going to pass this down here in just a second. Jen's biting at the bit to do this.
She's so cute.
Wasn't paying attention. I just wrote it this time. I'll just do it.
Yeah, just do it.
Okay.
You don't need to take it just a smidge, but it was fun.
You could add little dip dots around the big dip dots. That'd be kind of cute. And just a line and a couple little strokes. Look at that. I mean, how cute is that? Jen, go to it.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, I think Jen was worried about her stripes. She wasn't real thrilled with them, but I think if you put those little stitches on the
On the
side,
sides, it'll dress it
it's
up.
going to really kind of pull it together. So she's going to work on that. Lindsay's working on, I don't know what
She's
she's
doing her lines around the.
Oh, okay. She's adding her little stripes. This is another Sharpie marker, and you can use an Adena pen. I just wanted to try these. These are the oil paint markers, and I'm really pleased with them. I think they just have such a nice, strong line, and they're super easy to work with. And you just kind of get that paint rolling, and then once you do
Oh,
1, 2, 3 dots, whatever you want to do. They don't have to be the same length. It's just so much fun to add this little bit of funkiness to it. I guess that would be a good word. And you don't have to have straight lines. You can have little crickety lines, which is really nice. 2 dots, 3 dots. And I think the more imperfection that you do create, the more interest that it results. If you want it to be perfect, you have to make sure that it is perfect. Otherwise, it looks weird. This is a very nice marker. And I do know with this oil paint, it's not going to smear once it dries. And I just go right over that, the dots and all that. Anything that you're concerned about when you do this edge, it kind of pushes it in the background and makes it just not that important. And I want to make sure when I go down here on this stick too. I don't want to go here again, but I'll just go around the outer edge of this stick. Look at that. I do need to go back over this white line. It does need a second coat on it. The only thing that I know you do have to be careful with on these markers is that to get the paint to flow, you do have to press the tip in. And if you push it in too long, too hard, the paint flows out from around it.
Yep, that's what happened on mine.
Okay. So you do need to have a light touch. Oh, they're looking good, girls. So we're going to have a show and tell after this is over with.
No.
Yeah,
I
I told him we
refuse.
would. Super fun project. I think, let's see. Is my liner down there, Lindsay?
Yeah.
In the water basin.
Oops.
Oh,
Wasn't me.
I think while they're doing that, I'm going to go back with just a little bit of white paint. Because the painter in me says I can do this a little bit quicker with a brush. I'm just going to brighten up that line. And I've just got my 5/0 liner. Just going to go over that. Clean it up a little bit. So I have to tell you, we've got something really exciting on the horizon at Covert Distributing, and it's going to be unveiled next week.
It's been my whole morning.
Yeah, Jen's been working and Lindsay's been working like crazy trying to get everything lined up. So you have to keep your eyes and ears open because we're going to do some fun, really some fun projects.
And we have a live next week too.
Yeah, and we do have a live next week, so. Jen's been kind of quiet lately, so we have to get her stirred back up. And things around here, we've just had a real interesting July. So,
That's
To
a good,
say the least.
That's a good word for it.
yeah. Okay, so there's that. So, keep your eyes open for our new product line that we're going to unveil next week. We have a live on next Wednesday,
Tuesday.
next Tuesday, and we'll put some advertising out about that. My class is coming up August 13th. I've got new pattern packets I'm working on. So we have a lot going on. Any questions over there, Lindsay?
No.
Okay, when you guys paint these, you need to post them so we can see what you've done with them. Jen, how do you like your stripes?
They're definitely better with the little dashes
Yeah,
beside them.
yeah.
Still not my favorite part, but
Okay, I'm wondering if you put little dots down them, if it would be too much or would work. So, hey, I'm going to try it.
okay.
I'm going to start in the middle.
Oh, that's cute.
Oh, that is kind of adorable.
That is kind of adorable.
Huh. So I started in the middle with the handle end of my brush, and we'll just do some dip dots. And that way it'll be bigger in the middle and get smaller towards the top and the bottom. You know, anytime something's plain, a little bit of decoration is such a good way to enhance it. And it doesn't always have to be hard to do. Oh, I like that. Okay, I'm on a roll. Let's go ahead and do the rest of it. And you know, what's the worst that can happen? You don't like it and you wipe it off. We've all done that many times. Although, many of my best designs have been a result of things that I didn't think would work. So, I encourage you to always give it a shot. Oh, that's cute. So how are you doing, Jen? Almost.
I'm
Look
almost
at
done.
that.
Yeah, I'm nervous to get my hand in the paint pen though and like make it smear, you know? But I do like this.
There's something about the black line that kind of just frames it in and gives it a little bit of design and helps you focus on just the whole piece instead of, it gives it continuity. I
It doesn't
guess.
like, it makes it not look flat.
Lindsay, are you done over there?
No, I pressed too hard on the paint pen, so I'm trying to fix it.
Can I show it?
No.
Oh, I'm going to have her post it online though, because she has
Maybe
this.
in a minute.
Okay, she's got. Have you done the edging? Oh, you did it in white. She
Yeah.
did red, white, and blue. And it turned out great.
Hers does look good.
Everybody always thinks somebody else's looks better, right?
Yeah.
Look at this. Oh, Jen. Okay. I'm going to show Jen.
Okay, no judgment. No judgment.
Okay, what do you think, guys? Give her a thumbs up if you like her piece. I think it looks fantastic. Lindsay, I'm going to put yours up anyways.
Yeah.
You can fix. Mom will help you
Ignore
fix
the
it.
line at the bottom. I had
Her
an
paint pen
incident
bled.
with a paint pen.
Yeah. She had a fight with a paint pen.
We're getting thumbs up and
But-
hearts. You're so kind.
You know what? There's nothing that can't be fixed, so you just need a few little more sprinkles and dip
Yeah,
dots.
that's true.
And isn't that pretty? I love those
I
colors.
do too. That looks really good in the red, white, and blue.
I yeah, it
Yeah,
looks
ignore
great.
that bottom line.
She's a big fan of, what are they called? Bomb Pops?
Yes.
Yeah.
The red, white, and blue?
The original bomb pop.
The
I
original
have them in my
Bomb
freezer
Pops.
right now.
The originals.
Oh,
Okay.
thanks, Glennis.
Give these girls a big hand of yay!
We did it!
And I want to encourage you to share your love of painting with friends. And I think if you throw something like this at them, they're going to be a little less intimidated than if you show them those gorgeous decorative pieces that you normally paint. And you know what? This is a lot of fun. I've had fun today. Have you had fun?
Yes, this was so much fun. Thank you
Yes.
for letting us play, Mom.
So,
Loved those popsicles as a kid. Me too. Well, I'm almost 40. I still love them.
share the love and check out Covered Distributing. We've got a lot of good things coming up. So, hopefully, we'll get all our technology straightened around
Kidding.
and we'll be back before you know it. All right, thank you for joining us.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.